Hope you are all enjoying your break and practicing hard. So today we will begin by going over the D major scale, and the scale is really important because many violin concertos and many violin pieces are written in this key, and the notes are centered around the scale. So when we play the scale, notice this is on page 21. Notice the whole step, which is the bracket underneath the notes, and the half step markings. And so make sure to play slowly and in tune so you place your finger directly on the tape of your violin. So if it's a little bit high or low on the violin, it makes a big difference. So make sure your hand is directly on the line when you're playing. And so here's the D major scale. So for example, when I was playing the scale, I also noticed that my bow was going very straight. So what I want you guys to do is you must notice a lot of things to worry about. So like the bow going straight and only using this forearm of your arm to play it. And so notice all these things when you're playing, and you'll get used to it, and it'll be much better later on. Okay, in line 2, we have a new term which we call a tie. If you look at the top of your page, it says that a tie connects notes of the same pitch. So for example, if you look on line 2, measure 2, you see a tied F, which means you do not play both Fs, but rather you play one F with all three beats. So since there's a half note, you see there's a half note, and then it's slurred with that little line under to a quarter note, which is one beat. Then 2 plus 1 equals 3 beats. So listen to how I play especially the second, the fourth, the sixth, and the eighth measures of line 2. So to make that more clear, so basically it's almost like it's 3 beats. So if we're playing an F, normally without the slur, without the tie, it would sound like 1, 2, 1, right? But with the slur, it would just sound like 1, 2, 1. With that one, the last beat, the third beat, counted along with, played in the same bow as with the second beat. So 1, 2, 3. Or you can count 1, 2, 1, because it's 2 beats, which is a half note, and 1 beat with the quarter note. Notes that continue with the same down bow or up bow between the rests. This means you do not have to lift the bow between the rests, and also we're not playing down up like we normally do. We will be playing down down between the rests. So what this prepares us for is for playing slurs later on. But here's line 3. one thing to notice when I was playing this exercise is that I only used. So first of all, I only used half the bow. So you can also play this with the whole bow, and I'll show you that in a minute. But what happens is when you have two beats with one bow, you want to distribute the bow very evenly. So one beat will be half of that half bow, if that makes sense. So you want to say, instead of playing, one like three quarters of the bow with one beat, like one, it doesn't make sense. So you want to play both both beats in the bow very evenly. So half a bow, half a bow, half a bow, half a bow, like that. So you want to distribute the bow evenly. That's the main point. Play whole bow, it's also possible. So for this line, I want you to do two exercises. One with half the bow, distributing half of the half bow for each note, or you can play whole bow. So in this case, you would play quarter note, quarter note. So it would look something like this: rest, 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 rest. So play the repeats and play it half bow, play it whole bow. Make sure you distribute the bow evenly. Know how much of the bow you want to use for each note. Pay attention to that because it's very important when we're playing slurs later on. And yeah, so make sure to follow the bowings: downs, downs, ups, ups, and don't play in between the rests. 4 is similar to line 3, so it's just more practice, but with different strings and different notes. Here's line 4. And I forgot to mention that I am taking the repeats, so in case you got lost, just make sure to take the repeat. Also play whole bow to demonstrate what it'll look like with whole bow. So practice both half bow and whole bows for line 3 and 4, and make sure that the bow distribution is very steady.